Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
The information contained within this podcast does not consider your personal circumstances and is of a general nature only. You should not act on it without first obtaining professional financial advice specific to your circumstances.
Paul Atherton is an ex-Wall Street advisor on a mission to help young people win back their financial power, wealth and security. He does this by helping them understand the hidden world of finance, risk and investments, helps them figure out how it impacts them, and to seize the opportunities to make it work to their advantage. This is Paul Street Journal. I'm here this morning with Paul Atherton. How are you, Paul?
I'm good, Tim. Thank you.
It's good to hear. I've got some family members who have quite a lot of debt, and they've been looking into different ways that, they can get rid of their debt. You've explained some to me before, whether they should go into a zero balance card or try and consolidate in some other form. What do you think?
Yeah, so I guess, and they have multiple forms of debt, is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple of cards and a personal loan, all that type of stuff. Okay, exactly. Yeah. So I've written quite a bit on this, but so I think that there's two real main processes to remove debt, and both of them involve in isolating one piece of debt at a time and removing it, like putting all your energy into one, let's say, credit card, and all of your money and all of your everything you've got, like just to pay off one credit card. Because when you, and I say credit card, but whatever the debt you choose, and then you pour all that, every spare cash, sell off stuff in the house and do all those type of extra things. And when that first, in this example, credit card gets paid off, then you're no longer paying interest on any outstanding. And then you use all of that energy to get the next one, it sort of cascades the next one on the list. So let's say you have 4 pieces of debt. You have 2 credit cards, you have a personal loan, and you have a car loan, and you decide that credit card number 1 needs to be paid. And so you put all your energy, and then when it's paid off, you cut it up and move on to credit card number 2 or your next identified debt. So I think one of the big problems that people have is when they attack it, they don't attack it. They just sort of slowly pay bits and pieces off and get very, very frustrated and very lost in the whole process. So a strategy needs to be in place. And there are really 2 methods or 2 processes to remove the debt. And both of them fall under what I call as a debt snowball. And the snowball, as mentioned, happens because as each debt goes down, you have a snowball effect because you're no longer paying all of that interest charge. You're no longer paying that credit card. The extra money that frees up for you in cash flow gets applied to the next credit card, and so on down the line. So by the time you get to your last piece of debt, you're really pouring out a lot of energy and money.
So it's almost compound interest in reverse.
It's exactly what it is. It is. It's literally compound interest in reverse. And with discipline, people are just shocked usually, really shocked. It's, like accelerating, as they do, that when you break the Earth's atmosphere, you put all of the energy to break out the Earth's atmosphere. In this case, you spend a lot of energy on the first couple of debts, and then the energy really, really just the momentum builds so strong that you pay off the others quite relatively easily. So the 2 methods, the first method is the highest interest method, and the second is the lowest outstanding debt method. And both of them will require you to take a full inventory. So list all your inventory of outstanding debt and place next to each one both the outstanding amount and the outstanding interest charge. Now, interestingly, you'll probably find the outstanding amount, what you owe in dollars, very easily, but the interest charge is a lot harder, and they do that for a reason. It's not a surprise. It's very difficult to find out how much it gets charged. And when you finally find it, so you have to do some fine print reading. When you finally find it, you'll probably have to pick yourself up the floor because it's so expensive. Credit card debt sometimes is incredibly expensive. So the highest interest method, let's talk about that first. You look at and you rearrange that list. So you've got an inventory. In our example, we have 4. Maybe one is at 17%, one's at 22, one's at 11, one's at 8. Right now, list them in the order from highest to lowest, because you're going to attack the highest interest first. So in this case, would be 22% would be the highest. Pay that first, and attack the 17% next, and 11 and 8. So it's highest to lowest, and that's how you rank them. And the piece of debt, in this case, let's say it's a credit card, all of your energy goes paying off the highest interest first. So that's the highest interest method. The second method is the lowest outstanding debt. It's an interesting one because maybe you have a small debt of just a couple $100 and you have another one that's maybe it's $5,000, right? And maybe the debt that's the lowest has the highest interest rate, right? But this way, the reason that you attack the lowest outstanding, just a couple $100, is because it gets done and out of the way quickly. Now, that's a bit of a psychological boost. Right? Once you pay off the first card, I mean, you feel really good. It feels good to cut up a credit card. You're making progress, and you get that psychological momentum, which is incredibly important. And that cascades in that way. So once you paid off the lowest balance, you go to the second lowest balance, and then the third and the fourth, and so on. So that's why you take the inventory and you categorize it that way. Mathematically, the best approach, right? Mathematically, the best approach is the highest interest. That'll get you debt-free quicker, mathematically. And it all depends on, you could use either approach. So it all depends on your own makeup and the way you feel. But the vast majority of people do better under the lowest outstanding debt. So paying that off first, because we're not calculators, we're human beings, and we all need that boost, and we all need that sort of support. I think it's a hard road. Don't think it's not going to be, and every little bit of help is of great benefit. So choose whichever you think is right, and go down that method. Myself, if it was me, I would probably do the highest interest, because I would like to think I'm quite disciplined. But, usually, again, the vast majority of people find the lowest outstanding method the best. And then you'll get the instances where the outstanding is very close, but the interest rates are very disparate. So maybe you have a interest rate of 22% on a $600 debt, or you have an 8% on a $500 debt. Okay, so which method do you use? In that case, they're very close to each other, so just go straight for the highest interest. So default to that if the outstanding debt is not that large. So they're the two processes. They're enormously effective. Go ahead, guys. Just go pay off that debt.
Great. Well, thank you for talking with us today.
Cheers, Tim. Thank you.
Paul Street Journal.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.